ground, which was high catches out of the machine. And there was another drill set up behind us for later on, and it was quite a windy day out there at Hurstville, and ball was getting away from me, and I slid to catch it and caught it, but in the process I slid into a metal plate at the base of the stumps. So
well, glad you said caught it. That was important that you caught the ball.
I like the way you stressed it was an accident too, just in case we thought that he was deliberately just to put you back in your box.
So you sliced the shin in a sense, did you? Or?
Yeah, I sliced down my shin and then a sort of a U-shaped slice out of my knee, so that's why I'm in the knee brace to keep that skin attached for it to heal back over.
And how many stitches, and is it right they're coming out tonight?
Yeah, there was...
Yeah, we're doing it a bit later.
Yeah, there was about 30 or so in there, and they had a few out the other day, and then the doc's stopping by my place in about an hour to take the rest out, so hopefully it's good to go and I can get the brace off at the end of this week, hopefully.
Can I say, as someone whose taxes pay for Medicare, I have no trouble at all with the doctor coming to your house looking after that, because you're a national treasure, my friend, and we need to fix it as quickly as possible.
Mitch, before we get on to cricket, because we've got two very sore Sydney Swan supporters here, but you're, like, I follow you on Instagram and you and Twitter, you really go on about the Giants. Like, you were behind them 3 years ago. So how did you feel about their preliminary final loss? Are you as dark as these guys about?
I was actually at the game, and I was sitting next to a few die-hard Dog supporters, and they were in tears after the final. So I guess you could see how much it meant to them. And but it was a breakout year for the Giants, and then to get going on to bigger things. And I think they just showed this year what they're going to be capable of in the next few years, definitely.
Far more gracious, let me say. Far more gracious.
Yes,
Fair enough.
indeed.
Go ahead.
I'll just say, Mitchell, cricket's an interesting place at the moment, isn't it? We've got about 5 fast bowlers injured. I mean, yours is an accident. And you've got old-timers saying, oh, these blokes don't play enough. And you've got sports scientists say, you can only bowl 40 balls in the net, mate. But you've got Wasim Akram saying, I was the bowler I was because I bowled 2 hours before training. I can't work it out, who's right or who's wrong. But you have to live it. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think you can understand both sides. Times have changed. We play so much more cricket now. Obviously, you've got 3 formats. Look, you're touring almost 11 months of the year. You don't see much at home. And I think the boys, we've just come off 2 months in Sri Lanka. We had 7 days at home before the team left for South Africa. They come back and we've got 3 days before everyone plays a Shield game, then straight into the summer of Test cricket. So I think you've got to look at both sides. There's a mental aspect of it where you're on the road for at least 10 months of the year if you're playing all 3 formats. Obviously, you're playing a lot more cricket now as well, but then you got to work on your skills as well. So I think you've got to find that happy medium where you're not bowling yourself into a ground, you're still fresh for a test match or fresh for a series, but at the same time, you've got to be doing enough to be at the top of your game for the start of a series as well.
You have been at the top of your game, and we saw at the top of this interview some of the action from Sri Lanka. You bowled absolutely beautifully. There was big-time struggles for our batters in Sri Lanka. It's obviously the conditions are very, very different. But you, on the other hand, performed beautifully. I think you might have been the first ball of a test match. You picked up a wicket, which I'm not sure how often that happens, not very often at all. But for you, it was a great time.
Yeah, look, I think, well, personally, it was nice for the ball to be coming out well, but look, we didn't win the Test series, so I think, look, I'd happily give all those Test wickets back to win a series, especially in the subcontinent. So, yes, I think I can, I guess, be happy that the ball was coming out nicely in my first Test series back after a long time out. We went on to win the one-day series and the T20 series, which was great to finish a tour like that. But, yeah, look, we've got 4 Test matches coming up in India, so I think, as a whole, the whole group have got to find a way to just win cricket in the subcontinent, whether it be, I don't know, knuckle down a bit harder and really fight it out and get gritty and dirty and just find a way. But, look, I think that the good thing for us, we had Alan Border over there commentating, and he said that from his time playing in the subcontinent and then to his time commentating, the wickets have gotten worse and we still can't find a way to win. So, look, it's not a problem that we're just having in the last few years. It's been a problem for Australian cricket for a while, and we've just got to find a way. When
you took that 100th wicket and the commentator said fastest ever to 100 wickets and he knows it, are you the sort of guy are you that sort of Dean Jones, I can tell you every stat about my career sort of guy? Or does it all sort of wash over you and you don't even realise when you've broken a record?
No, I was just glad it was finished because everyone was reminding me about it. All the boys were bringing it up in the Tri Series. And so, yeah, I'm glad I don't have to talk about it anymore. And it's just, move on to the next game. So it was... It's just nice. We won that game and as I said, we won that series, so I'm just glad I was taking wickets and contributing.
And you got married this year. Congratulations. Yes. And your wife is also, obviously a very well-known cricketer. Well, how was that? Was that a big step? Because I'm just wondering, with two cricketers getting married, when you had the photos, did an umpire come out with a light meter? The checkbook. That's a bad joke. It's really congratulations.
Yeah, look, I was obviously off injured, so it was a nice little period where we could have some time together and have a wedding and do that sort of thing, and I guess get it done in some time off and have a honeymoon and that sort of thing. So it was a nice little, I guess, a silver lining to an injury was could do that part of my life, and then so yeah,
we see her because the women's game's taken off, and now she's one of our best players for Australia. She's travelling all over the world.
Yeah, I got home from Sri Lanka on a Sunday, so she picked me up from the airport, and I took her back on the Monday to head off for her Sri Lankan tour.
Way to keep the magic. You're going to be married for 90 years before you even know her favourite meal.
It's been about 6 months, and I think we've seen each other for 3 weeks. But,
what about your brother? How proud were you of Brandon at the Rio Olympics in the high jump?
Yeah, I think waking up at 5 a.m. on day 3 of the Test match, but to see him represent Australia and himself in the Olympics was very special. I know he was very proud to get there, as was I as a big brother and us as a family. And to see him make an Olympic final at 22 years of age is something very special, and no one can take that away from him.
Right, just finally, so prognosis after we get the stitches out tonight, how long before you're playing and in what form?
Yeah, I get the stitches out